Yo, what's good, everybody? Today I'm hitting y'all with a helmet setup and GoPro settings combination video. So if any of y'all are wanting to get into doing motovlogs yourself, I'm gonna try to help you out and show you my setup, what I got on my helmet, and my GoPro settings. So we could just start off by going through my GoPro settings, and then I'll show y'all what I got going on my helmet. So these settings are on a GoPro Hero 12. I am filming in 4K mode at 30 frames per second with my shutter speed at 1/60, and I have hyper smooth on. Let me think, make sure I'm not missing anything. ISO, my ISO is set at minimum 100 and maximum 100, so it leaves it locked at 100, which if you do not have these filters right here, these ND filters, you will not be able to run locked ISO at 100 without ND filters, because even with it being in this light that's not super sunny right now, it would still be overexposed. Right now, since it's not as sunny, I am running an 8 strength ND filter, but on the super bright sunny days, I run a 32, and then for in between that, a 16. I'll show you up here in a second. I'll change through all of the ND filters while we're in this same lighting and show you the difference in between all of them, so it'll maybe hopefully better explain and you can visually see what they do. And also my sharpness is set at medium and my bit rate is set at normal. I didn't want to put it at the highest option because it just takes too much space on the SD card, and the benefit is not worth taking that much filming time away from your SD card, in my opinion. But you personally, maybe you want to run the higher bit rate. Alright, so I showed you the 8 strength ND filter is what I've been filming with. And right here, as you can see, I have a 4-pack of ND filters, and you might be able to tell, I'm not too sure though, you can see the darkness. Basically, these are like sunglasses for your GoPro. So that's the default one that it comes with. This is a 4 strength, this is a 16, and this is a 32. We're gonna switch to the 4 strength real quick so you can see what it looks like. Alright, so now I got the 4 strength ND filter on, and you're probably noticing with this one that it is a little bit more exposed. You probably can't see the sky as well. All the areas that are highlights and not the shadows are going to be kind of blown out, and you're not going to be able to see them as well as you did with the 8 strength. You can probably see and make out more details of the sky, but with this one it's probably just too bright, and you just gotta basically judge your lighting of what the sun is giving you, and knowing, you know, like, hey, this is what I need to throw on for this. It's really not as complicated as it sounds. Like, I just know if it's really bright outside, throw on the 32 strength, and it usually works unless I go into a shaded road area that it gets kind of too dark. But yes, this was the 4 strength ND filter for y'all. So now I have the 16 strength ND filter on, and what you're probably seeing with this one is that all the shadows and like the bike and everything is probably pretty underexposed. It's hard to make out the details and a lot of the shadows. but now that we're going back towards where the sun is, and it's a little bit more brighter going this way than it was behind us because there was some dark clouds, you could probably just very well make out the details in the sky and see the clouds very well now compared to the last ND filter we had on. So hopefully as we're going through this, you're kind of getting to understand, if you didn't already know, what these ND filters are doing. Hopefully this is a great way to show. I just thought of it, I was like, hey, I'm just gonna filter through all of the ND filters that I have and try to explain it that way with visual representation of what it's doing, and hope it turns out how I want it to. After this, we're going to be switching to the 32 string ND filter that's going to be stronger than this one. This is the 32 string ND filter. It probably looks way too dark down here at eye level. The sky probably is, you know, pretty okay. You can probably see that fine. But with it being a low light situation right now where it's not super sunny out, it's mostly overcast, this is probably going to be way too strong and you're not going to be able to see much of what's going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the 8 strength, sorry, ND filter that I was running at the beginning of this video. And we're going to talk about some ISO. Alright, we're back with the 8 strength ND filter, probably at a reasonable, more pleasant viewing experience, I hope. Alright, let's talk ISO real quick. So ISO is basically your camera's sensitivity to light. So the lower the ISO, the less sensitive it is to light. So it's what you want to use in like sunny, you know, just high lighting situations. And the higher the number, the more sensitivity to light. So like say if you're, you know, you're filming in like a lower light situation or taking pictures or something, you know, maybe you want to try 800 for the medium lighting range, like around sunset or so. If it's nighttime, you're really going to need to crank up your ISO to like 1600 or something like that. But the thing of why I have my ISO set to 100 and have it locked there is because the higher your ISO goes, the more grainy and pixelated your video and picture get. So, if you can have the ability to keep your ISO low, then that really helps, and it's easy to do that because with Motovlogs and stuff, you're mostly outside in a high light situation. So that makes it easier. But also with the settings I am running, I have my shutter speed at 1/60, like we said. So what that also does, overexposes the video more than it would be at a typical ISO of 100. So that's where the ND filters come in, because when you are trying to get the cinematic look of having 30 frames, so everything that's moving with you is you know, nice and crispy, you get this little motion blur effect going on with everything around you, and it gives a nice cinematic feel. And with the ND filters giving a subtle lighting to everything, because you have polarizers, is basically what it is, a polarizer, like in your sunglasses. It gives you a nice look. I mean, I think I pretty much covered everything there. With 30 frames, you're gonna want to run double with your shutter speed as your frames per second, 1/60 shutter speed.
Let's take a quick second to look over my helmet setup. So the little cable and box that you see on the side of my helmet, that is actually a 3.5mm to USB-C adapter for the GoPro, because the lavalier mic that I bought had a 3.5mm jack and I needed to convert it to USB-C to be able to plug into the GoPro. It's just stuck on with double-sided sticky tape from 3M. I also have this Velcro piece holding in the female to male part of the mic, so I could undo it and take it apart at times if I need to, and put it right back together for easy access. And for the GoPro mount, it's just a basic default mount that comes with your GoPro when you get it. And basically all I did was grind down the top bit for more mobility, as you'll see here in a second. This trimming is essential for older GoPros that do not have hyperview, because you want to get the angle right but for the hyper view, it's not really too much of a necessity. The inside of the helmet's pretty straightforward. Everything's just tucked away, double-sided sticky taped and velcroed in where it needs to be, and also covered up the air holes because it helps with wind noise, and also moved the mic up towards the visor for that as well.
Alright, well, shoot, man. That's gonna do it for this video. I hope this maybe helps you out, and we'll get you out there to fucking film your own motovlogs. I fucking love you all. See you later.